right, here we go. So, what did we cover the last 5 minutes of class yesterday? Ben, statistical question. So I want you and your table partner to get a notebook out and a pencil, and I want you to come up with 2 statistical questions. You and your partner need to come up with 2 statistical questions. Write them in your notebook. Alright, you and your partner should be coming up with 2 statistical questions. Who has a statistical question for us? I think that it's a statistical question. Nathan. How many pencils do people have? Raise your hand if you think it's a statistical question. All right. Yes, that is a statistical question. How many do you have? 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 Are they all going to be different? They have the potential of being different. Okay, good. Next question. Brayden. How many people play video games? How many people play video games? Is that a statistical question? What do you think, Drew? Now we can figure out how many people play video games in here, and we're going to have one answer. It's just like the Chromebook question. How many Chromebooks does this building have? It has a certain amount. There's a certain amount of people in here who play video games. It's going to be one answer. Not this question. Ben.
Do you use plastic or paper bags?
That's so original. So creative. Ben. There's an example yesterday. Oh, was it? All right. Nathan. How much money do your classmates have? Is that a statistical question? Raise your hand if you think yes. Absolutely. We can all, if you have money on you, some of us might have any money on us. Some of us have a lot of money on us. Some of us have none. Okay? So there's a different amount. Beckham. How expensive is each person's pair of shoes? Those are all going to be different. Okay, Vince? How old are your parents? Those are all going to be different. So I should say, how old are your parents? Change that to how old is each of your classmates' parents. Okay? Javen. What was everyone's test average? Is a statistical question. Everyone here's class average is going to be different. Ben. What shirt do you have on? Is that a statistical question? Yes, we're going to each have different ones. All right, last one. Drew, what do you got?
How many sports do my friends play?
How many sports do my friends play? That is going to be different ones. So, yes, that is a statistical question. All right, nice job with statistical questions. Any questions on that? All right, we are going to move on to mean, median, and mode. Also, range. Raise your hand if you've heard of those terms before. Great. Awesome. All right, we are going to look at finding the median. Can someone tell me what the median is? Ian. It is the middle of a group of data sets. when we say middle, what do we have to do first before we find the middle? Zach, you can graph it. Graphing it would do this. Sean? Good. So yeah, exactly right. We need to find the middle, so there should be equal amount on both sides. But what do we need to do with all those numbers? The numbers, there's something specific you have to do with those numbers before we find the middle. Ian, we're not going to add them. Okay, let's do this. Here's a statistical question. How many pets does each person in this class own or have? Vince? 0. Zach? 2. 2. 5. 0. 1. Ben? 1. Okay. Now I'm going to find the middle of this data set. I'm going to cross them out until I find the middle. Is 5 the median amount of pets that we have in this class? What do you think? Raise your hand if you think yes, it is. Okay. Drew, why do you think it is?
Because on the paper it says median is the measure of center of the numerical data set and finest and some number.
Okay. Nathan.
It's not the median because the numbers are in chronological order. So it's not correct because it's in chronological order.
What do you think? We have 2 different explanations there. Jay.
I thought it was median, but that was for the same reason as drawing.
Okay, so you think 5 is median? Okay. Anyone else? Ben. It does need to be in order. Because if I were to start over here, you got the first 7 people, would this number be the same? No, it's going to be in different order. So we would have to put this in order. 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 5. Now I can find the median. The median is 1. Everyone would get the same answer of 1. Yes, Jaden. Great question. All right, so that is how you find the median here. Explains it. Right here. On your guided notes. The measure of the center of numerical data sets. So if you were to have an odd number, you will have a middle number. They cross these out. There's 4 on this side, 4 on this side. 12 is our median. Now, look at the next question. If there are 8 of them, 8 data values, we have 12 and 13 as our middle numbers. So, anyone know how you find the median of an even data set? Noah. You find the middle of 12 and 13. Okay, that's kind of an easy one to do in your head. That's 12 and a half. What you do is you add the 2 numbers, 12 plus 13, and then you divide it by 2. If our 2 data sets in the middle were like 8 and 25, can you easily look at this and find the middle? Not as easily. So what you do is you take 8 plus 25, then divide it by 2. Does that make sense? That's a great question, Javen. Thank you for asking. Drew? Yes. All right. Questions on median. All right, you have like 3 questions there, I believe. 3 questions. Go ahead and find the median of those 3 data sets. All right, the first one, our data set 7, 8, 9, 12, 14, 16, 17, 19, 20, and 50. We need to find the median, which the median is what? Someone? Is the, Javen? The middle of a data set. Perfect. The way I do this is I just cross them off side to side. If you want to count if they're odd or even first, you can. It is an even amount. So we have 14 and 16 in the middle. What is the middle of 14 and 16 then, Becca? 15. If you add 14 plus 16, you get 30. 30 divided by 2 is 15. You good with that one? All right, number 2, negative 132, negative 105, 19, 15, 16, 17, 17, 22, 25. What did you get? No.
16.
16. Let's check it out. Start on the right. Back and forth. Back and forth. There is an odd number, so 16 is the middle. All right. Question number 3. So I said 15, 16, 23. So 15 and 16 were correct. Why is 23 not the correct answer? Zach? What do you want? Good. They need to go from smallest to biggest. Who can read me these numbers from smallest to greatest? Sean. Speak up. 15, 21, 22. Okay. When you do this, when you rewrite them, count how many numbers are in your original. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You better have 7 when you rewrote them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now you can go back and forth. 15 would be your median. Okay, Sean. Yes, like you have 14 and 16. You know, you don't have to divide by 2. You can figure that out pretty easily. But going back to the 2 middle numbers are, let's say, 15.2 and 18.6. Do you know the middle of those 2 numbers? Easily. Okay, I can get it pretty easily. 24.1. No. That's why you add them up, divided by 2. It finds the middle of them too. Okay, it's the average of these 2, which is the middle. Okay? Good with that? Great. Go back over here. All right, the next one we're going to go over is called mean. Does anyone know the other term for mean? What is, I think it's called simile, right? A word that means the same thing? Back up. Good. Mean and average are similar to each other. They're the exact same thing. So, I want you to talk with your neighbor. What does mean or average really mean? What is it? What is the average? What is the mean? Okay, not how you figure it out. What really is it? Okay, talk with your neighbor. Okay, when you are finding average, you distribute all of them so that you have the same amount in each one. You move those blocks so they're all equal to each other. Just like in basketball and free throws. Good? Nathan?
Isn't there also something called a batting average?
Yes, a batting average, right? So you go up to bat, in game number 1, and you go 1, 4, 3. Okay, your batting average is 33%, or they use they always go to the hundredths in the MLB, so 333 thousandths. Okay, 0.33. That would be your batting average. So what they are saying is the next time that you would go up, the next game you'd probably go 1 for 3 again. You might have a game where you go 3 for 4. Now you're batting 750. What would happen to your average? Would your average go up or would your average go down? Zach?
It would go up or down from which perspective we're looking at. It would just mediate in the middle.
So let's say our average for the first half of the season is 333 thousandths. Then the first game of the second half of the season, we bat 3 for 4. Is our average going to go up or down?
Up.
It's going to go up. Okay. So each game or each time it snows, our average is going to change. Beckham, do you have a question? All right. On your guided notes, then, I want you to go ahead and find the average or the mean of those 3 data sets. So on the back half, you have A, B, and C there under our number of inches snow. These 3 right here. 1, we need to add up all of our data sets. We take 24 plus 27 plus 30 plus 31 plus 33 plus 35. Then you are going to divide that by what? Graydon? 6, because there are 6 numbers. You add up all the values, then you divide it by how many numbers you added up. This right here gets us the total amount of snow. The 6 is the 6 times that it snowed. What is our plateau? What would be equal on all of them? That is how you find the mean. Anyone have any questions on that? Yes. Great question. This is the last thing we're going to go over today. If we had a 0 here, what is this bottom number going to be? Grayson? It's going to be 7. Okay, because if we're shooting free throws in basketball, one game we don't make any, do we need to include that game? Do we need to include that bad free throw shooting? Yes. Okay, otherwise, our values are going to be skewed. All right. We should be dismissing now. We'll keep going over this today or tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your day.